Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Swampscott School Committee regular meeting of Thursday, September 25th, 2025. You are at Swampscott High School, room B129. We are now in order, and if you so desire, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Glenn Pastor, Vice Chair of the School Committee, trying my best to sit in for Amy O'Connor, who is attending to some family obligations this evening. To my right, Miguel, yes. How are you? Good. Suzanne Wright is virtual tonight, and John Jantis is stuck in the rain. He is on the way. I'd like to introduce everyone to Sasha Sidori. Sasha is one of our new student reps. Also, Leah Beatrice will be joining, and Leah had a field hockey game?
Yes.
And a field hockey game in the rain. I bet she would rather be here staying dry. So welcome, everybody. There's John in the back. And we will start with any public comment. Is there any public comment? Is there anyone out there in public land, online?
There's one person online. I don't see.
And there's no hand raised?
Any hands.
All right. Anyone here would like to chat? All right. Public comment is over. Committee comment. Miguel, why don't we start with you, and we'll give John a chance to settle it.
Let's see. I'm not sure. It's been a crazy week for at least my son, doing different things throughout the building and joining different clubs, learning about all the different types that are available. So still processing that with him.
Your son's a freshman?
Yes.
Oh, exciting. How nerve-wracking. I'm sorry to hear that. All right. Suzanne, any comment?
I do not.
Okay, thank you, Suzanne. John, I'll go first to give you a chance. Sure. I also actually want to comment on the clubs. I did see that was an Instagram post, 30-plus clubs up here at the high school. That's amazing. That is really great. How is the turnout so far? You don't mind me asking.
I think it's been great. We had the Clubs and Activities Fair last Friday. Sasha, you can certainly speak to this, but we had, oh, sorry.
No, it's my fault for putting you on the spot.
No, it's fine. So just to repeat it, Sasha, you can certainly speak to it, being involved in clubs and activities yourself. We really emphasize our grades 9 and 10 students this year, hoping that participation in a club or activity, of course athletics too, but athletics weren't represented at this particular fair, that we will have an increased sense of belonging from students. So we had over 400 kids came on Friday. So it was busy, but it was great. And I'm excited for students because they're offering their ideas and suggestions for other clubs. Like I think we had talked about the Future Physicians of America. Mm-hmm. Got a girls club that's new this year. What other ones were new?
There is a debate club, I think.
Oh, which one?
A debate club.
Love it. Great. Yeah, so I think so far so good. Yeah, we're really excited.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Debate club will come in handy here, that's for sure. The other thing I do want to just say, I received an email from a junior at Marblehead High School who has started a little business for himself called All About Town. And what they do, what he does, and I'm sure there's others involved, his first name is Joel, if I remember. They are doing instant AI minutes of meetings, and I know the Marblehead School Committee is using them. He's also doing the Swampscott School Committee, and it's really pretty interesting. I'm giving it, maybe it's about an 85% accuracy. And I know when Ms. O'Connor gets back, I'd like to talk with her about the possibility of maybe formalizing that and leave that up to the team. But to Joel and All About Town, thank you for reaching out. I was really impressed by the tool. And again, it's instantaneous minutes, so it was really pretty good. And that's all I have. Mr. Jantis, all
Thank you for being patient with me.
My pleasure.
So I want to talk about curriculum night. My daughter's a senior, so it's my last curriculum night, but I think it was great. I got to talk to a lot of old faces, you know, some teachers that my older daughter had as well, some new teachers. Had a very good conversation with the new French teacher, half of it in French, so try to keep up on that one. Also talked to a ton of parents, talked to quite a number of administrators, just, you know, what do you think of the new school year so far? And I'm sure I'm going to be coming back to you and to Amy with some thoughts on, you know, what we can do going forward, you know, to, you know, have some of those conversations here as well. But overall, I thought it was great. And I didn't plan it that way, but I was like one of the last people out of the building. I think they were kind of like, okay, you can go now. But no, I just want to thank everyone for being so generous with their time speaking with me. So.
Great, thank you, John. Again, just one point from me, just everything I have heard, that the school year has just kicked off incredibly well at all levels. And so to yourself, your first go around it, running the show the first few weeks, knock on wood, has gone very smoothly. All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, so with that, committee comments, I will turn reports and discussions, I'll turn that over.
Glenn?
Yes,
Has
Suzanne.
did our student want to comment?
Thank you very much. You know what, I had it written down and I blew that completely off. Sasha?
As you know, my name is Sasha. I'm a junior here. I've lived in Swampscott for most of my life, and I've always attended Swampscott Public Schools. So did my older sisters, and now currently my younger brothers. I do think that the school year is going very smoothly so far. I do agree that the club activity fair was very, very successful. It is building a sense of community already, and I'm really glad to see that. A lot of students are coming together and working together, which is an improvement that we've seen from last year, or I've seen, and I truly appreciate that.
Great. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Suzanne. Appreciate that. Now, we'll turn it over to the superintendent's report.
All right, great. Miguel or John, can you hit the slideshow?
Try to
Thank you.
connect now.
Yes.
Great. And you can go.
And hold on, let me open it. Hold on. I didn't open.
I see it, but it's not letting me join.
So hold on, everybody.
I'm going to start where it comes up. I can just go through the agenda, or do you want me to wait?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So the agenda for tonight, we're going to start, well, Mr. Passer already did, but we have the student rep introduction, the educator of the year, professional status teachers, which one person showed up, so I think that will be relatively quick. We have honor a retired teacher. We are going to go over the review what happened with the Swampscott Hall of Fame. We had our first SEF event, and then we're going to go to the principal school improvement plans. So,
Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to get it the right size since it's a PDF.
Said it shared.
I guess,
Okay, oh, there it is.
There we go.
great. So, if you go up, you go up to the, there you go. Okay, so you can go down to the student reps. I just want to say about Leah and Sasha that we have two all-stars. I mean, it's so fun in my new job to see kids now that they're in high school, because a lot of the times when they leave the middle school, you don't see them for years, and it's like, wait, are you a junior in high school or 30? It's hard to remember. And Leah and Sasha were both such great students and great middle school students and ambassadors, and we always talked about doing the right thing and who you are when nobody's watching. And I can't think of two better kids to represent the student body than Leah and Sasha, because they were always doing the right thing. So thank you. We're so happy to have you here. Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
And now to the educator of the year. So, Lisa Rapisardo. Should I stand for this, or should I go up there, or does it matter? Okay. Is there a?
Yeah, there's Mike.
Lisa Rapisardo, or for those of you who know her by her stage name, Rap, is truly one of a kind. Rap is the kind of teacher who should, and often does, serve as a model for other teachers looking for a professional roadmap that will lead them to becoming one of the warmest, calmest, most insightful, and strongest classroom teachers they can be. Rap is all that and so much more. She is the kind of teacher who will remain in the hearts and minds of all the fortunate students who were lucky enough to be in her oasis of a classroom. And it is oasis. It is like, I don't know how you do it. There's more plants and fresh air in Rap's room than anywhere else in the building. And although she has many talents that has earned her this recognition, perhaps her most unforgettable trait is her ability to be deep in the chaos that is middle school and remain absolutely grounded, a skill she has recently honed as a yoga guru. She's devoted, insightful, positive, and forever hilarious. Rap, we can't thank you enough for all you continue to do for our students and their families. You are the best. Namaste. Come on up.
Ms. Rapp, can we get a picture?
Sure, yeah, right now?
Yes, please. Yes, with your present. Here, let me take a picture. Yes, of course. You gotta be in charge. All right, hold on. 1, 2, 3, and we get a couple of. How do I get rid of that? Really upset with me. Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Is this for my classroom?
It's not a plan, I don't think. And now to our professional status teachers. And like I said, we have one tonight, so congratulations to Molly Casper. Molly, we appreciate all that you do. We're so lucky to have you. We're glad you're now a lifer. So coming up, we have a little something for you as well. And now I'm going to call up Ms. Sanborn for our next announcement.
Good evening, everybody. It's an honor here today to represent the retirement of Ellen Hounsell. Ellen began her career in August 1993 as a Learning Center teacher for grades 3 through 5 at Clark Elementary School. In 1996, when the program moved to Hadley, she continued her work supporting students while also earning her master's degree in instructional technology and an additional certification. During this time, she also began sharing her expertise with colleagues by teaching technology in-service courses. In 1999, Ellen went on a 2-year paid sabbatical with the Massachusetts Department of Education, serving as a content specialist in assistive technology. Ellen returned to Swampscott in 2001, joining the facility at the Mashon School as a 5th grade teacher. During her years at Mashon, the school earned the honor of being named a Compass School by the Massachusetts Department of Education. Ellen wrote a grant that brought the first smart board to, where did I go? The first smart board into the entire district, and she continued to provide technology training for her peers. When Mashon closed in 2007, Ellen returned to Hadley Elementary School and began her long tenure as a 4th grade teacher. Over the years, she has not only guided hundreds of students through pivotal stages of their learning, but also mentored new teachers and served as a cooperating practitioner for colleagues and student teachers. ensuring that her knowledge and dedication would be passed on to future generations of educators. This past year, Ellen had the privilege of teaching her final class of fourth graders, and what a class it was, Ellen, in the brand-new Swampscott Elementary School building, bringing her journey full circle and marking a wonderful closing chapter to her extraordinary career. Ellen's 32 years reflect a career defined by innovation, leadership, mentorship, and deep devotion to the students. Thank you so much for your time for all of Swampscott.
Doesn't seem possible.
I know.
Let me get a picture of you two to, I'll take a picture of you two to.
Mr. Calisper, let me get a picture of the three of you.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. All right, to the next slide. So on Thursday night, September 11th, this year's, every 2 years, they do the Swampscott High School Hall of Fame induction. And the class of 2025 included Lindsay Walsh, Peter Hale, Rom Emmons, John Bolio, Brendan Garner, Kara Gilbert-Teplo, the 2006 boys cross country team, Jeff January, Walter Costello, Lizzie Moran, Matt Mahoney, and Arthur O'Neill. It was an incredible night at Tedesco. It was like the Swampscott Blue Bloods came out. Everybody had a wonderful time. It was really nice to see so many people be recognized and so many teams be recognized. One of the cross-country runners said that, I know Swampscott used to be a football town, but now after all these inductees, maybe it's a cross-country town. And it was just so nice to see all the families of the honorees and the inductees there as well. So it was quite a night. And then the following night, at the football game on the next slide, they had, at halftime, they had some of the family members come out and some of the honorees come out to be recognized at halftime of the football game, which is a nice little new tradition I guess we're going to start. So it was, it is an extensive list of people that are nominated. And I'm on the committee now, so I had never known this before. The list is vast. Then they go back years to see who didn't make it the last time. And between, stats from 1979 was actually, Walter goes back 1964. So we're talking from 1964 to 2010. So it was quite a range of people, and it was, like I said, it was a wonderful night to honor all those people. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
And then, lastly, before the school improvement plans, we had our first, as many of you know, we are bringing back the SEF, and we had our first Swampscott Fun Fest. It was like a soft launch, I would say. The board members are Emily Couture, Kara Gilman, Jessica and Jemmy, Casey Giron, and Allie Kelleher. So on Sunday, the 7th, actually it ended up being after that because there were rain out, so it must have been the 14th. Everybody met at Lynn Scott Park. They had the soccer team had face painting. We had groups from the ADL. We had all sort of student volunteers helping out as well from the high school, which was great. And they raised a little bit of money, which is tremendous, and more importantly, I think got a lot of people excited and involved for the next thing. So.
I think that's great. I mean, from my perspective, we should probably have them come in to a meeting, make a little presentation, and really it's more from a marketing point of view.
Yeah.
Talk about what their plans are for the next, this school year and going forward. That way we can just, I'm excited. I mean, I'm very excited for it. I was, part of the first way back when, and then the second version, and I went to some really great events.
Yeah.
They raised some really big money for various classrooms around the district. And I think this is just so great. I am so excited for this, just for the families, for the educators who, may have an idea, may, need a micro grant that we just can't fund.
Right.
Something with our classrooms, so I think it's great.
And I know the budget update was last week, and we have it's for a different presentation, but I will say between, we had to increase fees in athletics, we had to start charging for clubs, we brought the after-school program from the Y to the middle school this year.
Right.
Beyond that, and starting the SEF, I think we're showing the town, like, we're looking to, increase our revenue as well. So hopefully we can get this off the ground. It was a great first event, and I look forward to what's coming next.
Great.
All right,
Any other thoughts, comments from anybody?
No.
Okay.
great. All right, we're going to start with the school improvement plans, and we're going to start with Ms. Sanborn and her team. Right?
Hello? Okay.
Yep, you're on.
Good evening again, everyone. I'm Laurie Sanborn, the principal of Swampscott Elementary School, and joining me here tonight is Ivy Horgan, assistant principal, and Liz Driscoll, another administrator at Swampscott Elementary. So, in speaking of excitement, Glenn, you were just talking about excitement. This year, we're really excited about the 3 areas of focus that we're going to put in towards the elementary school. And we start off by just sharing our code of conduct that we have for the elementary school. We're the home of the Blue Lobsters, so we created a code of conduct that goes by the CLAW. And every day, we remind our students to care for our community, learn every day, act responsibly, work hard in order to shine bright. And related to that, we have 3 goals that we're going to focus on this evening. We're going to be, and all year, as administrators down to our classroom teachers. And the first one is behaviorally focused. Then our second one will be looking at instruction, changing a little bit of instruction at Swampscott Elementary School. And the third is community, increasing our community. So in looking at goal number 1, it is, the acronym is PBIS, Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. And really, I'm going to break this down for you. This is one of the most exciting things as an administrator I've ever rolled out. And what it is, it's to promote a positive school climate by reinforcing expected behaviors. And I'll show you the matrix that we have. And it relates to how are you a good community member in the cafeteria, on the bus, in the classroom, in the hallways, and also creating that, but putting it into a team-based reward system using something we call the Lobstars and Team Sandpails. And the deliverables about this is students will be actively recognized for demonstrating positive behavior through the Lobstars system. Well, they'll earn Lobstars for their house. So every single class in our school, whether they are in kindergarten, whether they're in 4th grade, it's very Harry Potter-esque. They were put into a house, and we'll get to the houses in a minute. But basically, individual behavior can contribute to a house total that, in doing so, will foster a spirit of teamwork, friendly competition, with incentives awarded to houses based on their collaborative achievements. And again, we're looking to measure a 15% reduction in major behavior referrals in achieving. I think we can we can almost get to 100% based on the rollout and how excited our teachers were in this. 90% fidelity in teacher implementation of the routines as documented through office referrals, behavior data, and fidelity checklists. A lot of this stuff has begun at Swampscott Elementary School. You'll see this is our behavior matrix. All of our teachers have this. All of our we've even rolled it into social emotional learning, a block where our specialist teachers are working to uphold this as well. And
Are you on the matrix right now?
No.
Okay.
I was.
You don't have control of this. You have to ask them.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miguel.
No worries.
Next level.
So now you're on
Yeah,
the matrix.
next
Yes, there we go.
Thank you, Miguel. I was thinking I did.
Yeah.
That's funny. So this is a little bit, this is what our team has created. And this is just basically, we go back to this all the time. What does it mean to act responsibly in the bathroom, in the lunchroom, at the playgrounds? What does it mean to work hard in all of the different areas? And we are constantly, we modeled this and rolled this out on day one. We talked about this in the cafeteria with the students, all the administrators. We work hard on this every day. Our teachers all have this. And then if we go to the next slide, what we did is we rolled this out. This was the best pep rally I've ever been at when we rolled it out with the second grade. It was at random, you know, we started with second grade, and that's how excited the teachers got. They were finding out what class their house would be in. So the houses are the following. If you flick to the next slide, you have, so, nope, go back one. Team houses. So we have the Pelicans, the Pipers, the Flamingos, the Puffins, and the Gulls. So whether you're in fourth grade, your teammates also could be in kindergarten. So at every single level, you have a team. And we rolled this out, and we explained the system to the kids. At first with the rollout, it's going to be the administrators rewarding, just while we find our way, using the Lobstar coins, which on the next slide, you'll see here, the Lobstar coin, and it will go in a bucket. The buckets are visible in the main hallway so that the students will see that in the competition where everyone's at. And then at the end of that, they get to pick a reward system. So maybe it could be they get extra recess. Maybe it be that house, whoever fills their bucket first with Lobstars, maybe they get PJ Day. And that house, the Pelicans, get PJ Day on that Friday. So just a positive team approach, and really to create a sense of belonging. It's really exciting. The teachers are all in. We love it. Do you want to add anything
Yeah,
else?
they also get to take the Lobstars home with them too. So they're going in the bucket, and then it's something that they can bring home to show their families and their friends that they earned that themselves. So just that home connection.
Piece as well. Yep. Oh, yeah, and in addition, we're not there yet. In addition to working on the behavior, we rolled it out in the SEL block too. So that extra block of social emotional learning, what it means to be a good teammate, and we have different themes. Ivy, do you want to speak to that a little bit? The themes that we
so
put
they're
on?
going to follow basically the matrix, and they're following the 7 different settings and behaviors. So each lesson is kind of based around how they can just participate in school using that matrix. It's going really well. They've started kind of the first week of school in those SEL blocks, so they've been introduced to a lot of these topics already.
And if you ever walk through our school, which we invite you all to whenever you'd like, if you see the kids in the hallway, they all have their claw up, modeling, expected behavior. And that's what we use with them too. A lot of nonverbal. It doesn't always have to be, if someone's getting a little squishy out in the hallway, we modeled the claw, and it works very well. So we're very excited about this. Any questions, thoughts?
I had a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
Are you guys considering this like a pilot program? You run it this year and assess at the end?
Yeah.
If you want to bring it back?
Yeah, so definitely, like with anything, right? You look at something, is it working, right? In areas of where you can reflect and figure out, okay, this part of it worked, this is where we can get improved. So definitely as a pilot program. The individual schools, before we all had come together, they all had different incentive programs. Some schools called them, I forget what, at Hadley it was Splashies, the Splashy Awards. What we like about this is it's a collective effort. So it's not just you being recognized for your behavior, it's going towards something. And that's what we really think will help incentivize that sense of belonging in the school. Not just like knowing that it's not just me, but what I do affects this community. And I can be someone who supports like positive change. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Suzanne, do you have any questions? I just want to make sure that I get you.
No, I just wanted to say this is so funny because when I started teaching, the whole marbles in the jar thing, it's funny what comes back around, and I'm really psyched. Because I thought that was effective. But I'm also really happy to hear about the teams because I think sense of belonging you know, especially how the school's built with the different wings, it's going to be so great for pajama day and all the, you know, the Pelicans to be wearing their pajamas. So like the fourth graders are high-fiving, you know, the first graders or whatever. It's kind of like that, that vertical inclusion is really cool.
Yeah, it honestly, the teachers love it too. It's when we do our goals and we encourage our teachers to do their goals, we always ask them to pick things that they're passionate about, something that they'll get excited about, or really like want to reflect on and say, is this working? Is it not working? To kind of have that pull. I feel this pull, you know. Mary, I wish Mary was here tonight too. Mary Powers was like, wow, when we rolled this out with second grade, it was the loudest place. You would have thought you were at a rivals college football game. It was just really special. So we'll look to update you on that goal.
I think it's really cool. It reminds me of going to camp in Color. Yeah, it's
Right.
It's great. And I like Suzanne. I love that it's K-4. All the students. I think it will help everybody. That's great.
Yeah, and I also just want to acknowledge our 3 teammates that are not here that played such a crucial role in helping us get off the ground, which is Kate Curtis, Jenna Moore, and Jamie McAssey. They also were instrumental in helping us. They're very creative, so they help with the creative touches with the birds and whatnot.
Great.
So.
Saw a flamingo on a backpack this morning of a student, so.
Yeah. And some of our teachers may or may not be ordering bird onesies for Halloween, so if you'd like to see the parade, come on through. Our second goal is focused on curriculum and instruction, and we're calling this is all about what's called targeted instruction, and I'm going to let Ivy start this off. And
Sure. Yep. Yeah. So we're really excited to roll this one out. Our targeted instruction, our goal is to improve our student performance in reading and in math, but we're also creating a culture of data-driven instructional decision-making among the grade level teams. We're calling it TI for targeted instruction. It's going to provide differentiated and targeted learning opportunities for all our students. We're currently in the process of looking at a wide range of student data. And I definitely have to say the collaboration between the specialists, Sarah Kent, our lead teachers, the admin team, it's been very successful. We're kind of in the proposal phase where teachers are going to finalize groups so that we can roll it out and start our instruction. And then during this process, we're going to be sending home written communication to families regarding where their students are, like, what groups they're placed in, and their teacher assignments. It's kind of nice. It's giving students an opportunity to work with a teacher other than their homeroom teacher. So kind of that, bringing back that SEL piece of just like being in a community. The kind of progress reviews are going to be happening every 6 to 8 weeks. So these groups are always going to be, they're fluid. We're going to rearrange depending on where the students are growing. So, if their group, they make progress in that 6 to 8 weeks, they'll move on to a different group and kind of focus on that area. So very excited about this. It's definitely successful
And
so
the two
far.
target areas are reading and math.
Right.
And within those two, we basically look at the data and say, okay, what does this group need? Okay, they need to comprehension of informational texts. So that's the goal of, let's say, this cohort of 17 to 18 students, and looking to improve that. This is something, I know they do at the middle school, so it is something we brought down to the elementary, and this is already being rolled out as well. I think today we did our third meeting of initial groups. So how it's working, and again, we couldn't have done this as well and as smooth as it's been going without Sarah Kent and Jessica Gelb. Very helpful to all of us. And in these meetings, we're providing basically proposals to the grade level teachers so that the heavy lift isn't on the classroom teachers to do. So we pull the data, we provide the proposals, and those proposals then go to the classroom teachers. And they say, I know he just didn't test well on iReady. I think this student needs to be in that group more. So they get the almost like the final piece to the puzzle about the groupings.
Wow.
You want to go to the,
Can
Suzanne?
I ask a question?
Sure.
I think I don't understand. So this is for kids that have been targeted for intervention? Is it like a pullout?
So this, Suzanne, this will be for every single student. So it's a block of time during the day, formerly known as what was called WIN, What I Need.
Right.
We are now,
Okay.
we are now transitioning that block to TI, Targeted Instruction. Because what,
And so, okay, that makes so much more sense because I was like,
So
I don't
what-
understand what the other kids are doing, what the teachers are doing, but that makes so much more sense. But how about the differentiated learning opportunities? You know, are you gonna look at the kids that are performing above grade level as
yes,
well?
Yeah.
yep, that is a group,
awesome.
yep, which we're very excited about. That is another area that is included in, there's one of those groups in every cycle.
And is everyone in the whole school doing this at the same time, like in every grade?
Whenever their TI block falls on their schedule.
Oh.
Yep. And then the other piece that we're leaving up to the teachers to decide is who's gonna teach what group, who's gonna instruct which group. So, for example, if I'm very passionate about, you know, that high group, maybe I ask my teammates to let me have that high group for that round, or the stretch group. And vice versa. So, and again, the groups will change 3 times a year, and sometimes even obviously the students will, hopefully, if this is working, and again, we'll reflect, and hopefully the process and the systems are all working, that we're looking to see growth, obviously, in both areas, in reading and math, by targeting these specific areas.
So one more question. The teachers may be excited about this, but also, do they have like planning time to take care of some new curriculum?
Excellent question, and it was one they asked as well. And we've already prepared almost like a resource. We're calling it a resource bank for TI, both in math and in basically whatever groups we determine. We're going to find the resources there as well.
Oh, sounds great.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited about it. We're hoping, you know, what it's always about is the students, and we're hoping that we can help, you know, bridge the gap for all students at Swampscott Elementary School. Can you click to the next slide? Thank you. Here we go.
I think we already talked about that, and maybe the next
Yeah.
one.
So, yeah, if you go, so this was prepared this just basically talks about, and we can share this all with everybody. This just basically talks about Sarah Kent developed this for us and our teachers and all staff members, just basically the protocols and the process of how this is gonna work. So that we could always fall back on this. So basically, we are at right now, if you check the first column, we are already at 2. We're at action step 2. We're at the tier 2, we're with the tier 2 team. We're developing the proposals. We have another meeting tomorrow, I believe, second grades tomorrow. And we're gonna create the profile, the proposed groups. And then the next step is we're gonna meet with the grade level teams and hoping to roll this out by, I think we said, what's the first, October to December will be that first cohort that we're looking at.
It's, I mean, incredibly ambitious. What was the onus for this?
I would say, in reflecting on was WIN effective, an effective use of time, I did not believe it was. We did not believe it was. And it was a huge thing to pull off for a classroom teacher.
Right.
What I need for
Yeah.
up to 18 kids, a lot of students need a lot of different things.
Right.
And in that block, I don't think it was used as effectively as we could do. We could do better, and that's what we're working on. And in the same, and also, you know, John, to your point again, we're gonna try this. You know, it's a heavy lift at first, but we believe even the first couple of meetings we've had have gone so well. And we've gotten it done for a literacy group. So it's like, okay, we can do this. Now we're going to bring these proposals to the teachers and, provide them the resources they need, and hopefully it turns out better than we expected.
Yeah, and to that point, we are, I think, at version 3.0 on this in 5th and 6th grade, and we're still tweaking it. Well, you are still tweaking it. So, we're going to see how it goes. You're going to see how it goes, and then make the necessary adjustments. But I think it's an amazing opportunity for our students.
And just one final thing is, because the teacher voice is so important in this too. And that second cycle, we're looking at the teachers to provide, beyond iReady, beyond give us your data of the classroom. Tell us what's happening in your room. And so that second cycle is really, we're going to ask the teachers to give us, their formal and informal assessments that they're using. And we're going to try to make them, obviously, across grade level the same. But again, that classroom voice is part of it.
I look forward to hearing how this goes.
Yeah, we have two ambitious things
I know.
that we're going to do this year.
We got it.
We're excited.
Yeah.
We're excited. We can go to the next one. And we really talked about all of this, so we'll go to one more. And this one is also already starting, already improving. This is the community building here at Swampscott Elementary School. And we are looking to increase community involvement at our school by at least 25%. We had some great pockets of it, and we're looking to bring more. I'm excited to share that the middle school and the elementary school have already partnered up with, we're going to bring 8th graders down starting October 7th to do some mystery reading with our 2nd graders. So that will be starting very soon. And Jess, I believe you told me you had 35 8th graders volunteer? Yes. Which that's awesome. Way more than I thought we would get. Now that we're closer in proximity, we're going to work on, making some of these connections happen. And one thing that I was excited, Mr. O'Donnell's 4th grade classroom did some pen pals with they did some pen pals, with the senior center. And we're kind of piggybacking off of that a little bit, and we're looking to have them do further outreach. Like, let's say, okay, Mr. O'Donnell, you can still do the pen pal project with the senior center, and another 4th grade class, you're gonna do the fire department, and another 4th grade class, you do the police station. Maybe all of you will ask to get involved. Maybe you could be a group of pen pals for a 4th grade classroom for us, and just to get that community connection being built back and forth. We started some projects, as many of you know, with Nate. We started the Blue Lobster Project. We got, I think, 1 or 2 classes down there. We're looking to continue that. Thank you. That's that as well. And the police and fire have already, this has already been rolled out. I know, working with the superintendent, Kalishman, that we wanted to increase the presence at the elementary school. That's already has started with the police department. I believe the fire department is going to start making rounds very soon as well. Very well received. The officer, the first time, came into the cafeteria with us and stayed for a few lunches, so it was awesome. Officer Wilson and Officer Reen have increased their time with us in the morning and in the afternoons. They've been present with us, so that has been fabulous. And let's see, if we go to the next slide, action items.
The enrichment,
Say it again.
enrichment, like visitors.
Yeah.
We definitely will continue to welcome like guest speakers, and just kind of people with talents and things that, into our school as well, which is just, the kids love that. It's great. It's a great opportunity to just kind of see, just different,
I think we have scheduled already working with the PTO. I think there's already at least one enrichment opportunity booked for every single grade. The picture there is the birds of prey. That's always a fan favorite. Was I just echoing? No, that was me. Yes, and again, we started this last year, and we're looking to at least increase it by 25% at Swampscott Elementary School. And I believe sixth grade's also coming. Jess, I think sixth grade is also coming to the middle school.
Next week?
Yep, next week too. So that partnership is gonna be great, it's gonna be special.
Wow. Yeah.
I like all of it. Since I think letting kids kind of know early on that there's a world kind of beyond your house. Because I feel like when you're that little, you're just focused on your house and whatever is like around you. But you're kind of expanding the scope to let them know that, hey, there's people at the senior center that do these things that want to talk to you, or you have the police or the fire department there, to just show them that these are people that are out in the community. So I feel like once they kind of go to more events, things with the rec program, or just anything that you guys are throwing out and about, that they might see familiar faces and be kind of happy about seeing them.
Thank you. John?
Yeah, I was thinking kind of along the same lines. I know when I first joined the school committee, there were some of these like little baby steps, I know with the police and the fire in particular, and the whole goal was just to get, just like I said, get the kids used to interacting with, the police and the fire and other, seniors. And this looks like it really does take it to the next level, so I appreciate the presentation.
Yeah, it was exciting last year with the senior center. It was awesome seeing our fourth graders with so many. And they were like, can we please come back more? And I was like, absolutely, let's keep this going and just expand it,
That's great. Suzanne?
Just agree with what everyone's saying. I love a community project.
Okay. Thank you. Sasha?
I truly think this is like really amazing, especially with collaborating with the other schools. I think my brother comes home almost every day talking about, oh my gosh, I saw Sora today. She's so amazing. And it's just really great. I agree with what everyone else said.
Thank you.
Great. And then just from my perspective, I think it's a great idea, just on the third goal of introducing the littlest kids in our community to the police and fire department. I mean, we live in a very different society today than I think we all, Sasha, you're excluded from that we all grew up in. And I think it's really important to make that early connection. Who knows what statistically will happen down the road, but it certainly can't hurt. I think this is great. I can feel the excitement, and it seems like everyone's you got beyond the first year, the shakedown of the building, and now you can kind of get down to the business of what you guys want to do. So I think it's really exciting. I look forward to learning more about it throughout the school year.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your support. Thank you.
Ms. Minter?
Hi everybody. This is my first time here. My name is Jessica Minter and I'm the principal at Swampscott Middle School. I started in Swampscott in 2017 as an ABA tutor, and I don't have my
Mic.
I will have it up.
Oh, do you mind?
Okay, I'll start over. My name is Jessica Minter. I am the principal at Swampscott Middle School. I started in Swampscott in 2017 as an ABA tutor in Liz Driscoll's classroom. And I fell in love with special education, so I decided to go back for my master's. I was a special education teacher up until this year at Swampscott Middle School. Decided to go back for my admin license, and here I am, and I'm so happy to be here. So I'm happy to report that a lot of the middle school goals are similar to the elementary goals, and I think that horizontal planning, and I know to the high school too, is really important to see the consistency through all three schools. So our first goal, I'll do all four. So I have 4 goals. So building excellence through data literacy, academic achievement, belonging, and family partnership. So those first 2 goals, the data literacy and the academic achievement, are similar, but I wanted to break them up into 2 goals just because there was a lot of information. So here you can see the 4 goals just overall, and then we can dive deeper into each one. So the first goal is based on data literacy. So by June 2026, Swampscott Middle School will increase staff and student data literacy to improve academic achievement. All students will meet their growth targets in ELA and math, with our lowest performing 25% exceeding individual growth targets. So each year, DESE gives us our targets, which we have not gotten yet for this coming school year, but when we do, we will have those targets and be able to increase our data literacy with our department heads and Sarah Kent to really look at that data, use protocols, see how do we pinpoint those 25% and how do we close that gap. And similar to what Suzanne asked with elementary school, we don't want to close that gap by bringing the top students down, right? We want to close it by bringing that bottom 25 up. And, looking at the data, the iReady, the class observations, and really getting that teacher input and from the department heads to, pinpoint where we need to target, whether it's through MTSS, really diving into that enrichment block that we have in 5th and 6th grade. Just recently, we met and we looked at the first round of iReady, and even just off the bat, we see so many pieces that we can go in and really enhance, and one being those higher achieving students, how do we enrich them and how do we enhance their skills, even if it means, that next grade level to get them higher and then bring that bottom 25% up as well.
I just say I love that.
Thank you.
I love it's just a really different philosophy than maybe we've had in the past. I think that's great.
Thank you.
I really think that's great.
And I do think that's where having the department heads back, like we can have those meetings and take that data and really make the plan where before we weren't able to do that. So goal number 2 is similar to goal number 1 in the sense of, we're using data to write that story, even if it's, it's not the whole story, but it does drive it, which is helpful. And that number 2 is geared more towards the essay within the MCAS. That data is embargoed. It is in my school improvement plan, but I am not able to release that data yet. But that baseline will be there, and increasing that percentage of students scoring and meeting and exceeding expectations on the ELA essay category for the entire school. It was very consistent throughout 4 grades, so it's an area of improvement that we need to hit, but it's nice that everybody has the same area of improvement. So being able to work with Jessica Gelb and the 5th grade teachers who are using the inter-reading program this year. Last year, the big push was in reading, so it's nice that the writing section will be implemented. And I have Laura D'Andrio here, who is a 5th grade teacher. She can speak on that if she would like. You don't have to speak. But we are really focused on that writing piece. And with that, 5th and 6th grade, 5th has the inter-reading program. 5th and 6th grade has the enrichment. So it kind of leaves us with, okay, what do we do with 7th and 8th grade? And that's where the department heads, the curriculum maps, and really making sure that those skills are embedded within the curriculum and being worked on consistently. Being able to come together with the department head for ELA and the team leaders and being able to, make a common rubric for everybody of everybody's following the same standard when we're working on writing.
So what I'm hearing is that the addition that you wanted to make for the department heads is already making a difference.
Absolutely. It's
Huge.
huge. It's night and day.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also say, just so everybody knows, so DESE, when we used to get our MCAS scores, we were allowed to see student essays before.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'd get them to the teachers. They can see what they did last year, make improvements. They no longer let us do that.
Oh, really?
I don't know why.
That's too bad.
But it is unfortunate. But with the processes that Ms. Minter just talked about and the department heads, we'll still be able to get a really nice idea of what the kids are capable of and where we need to improve.
I mean,
Can I make a comment?
go ahead, of course, Suzanne.
Well, I'm sorry. I have no idea who I'm interrupting, but I don't have a hand raise button for some reason.
That's okay.
I love the idea of improving writing because I have 4 kids that went through the system, and only one's a really good writer, and she happened to do her high school somewhere else. So this is great. But I have sort of like a philosophical problem with having the goal be by June, whatever, students are going to meet or exceed expectations in the MCAS. I mean, I think we talked a while ago, and I know things change with new leadership, but we need to really think about the things we measure for a successful school district. And I think this is a great benchmark. But I think I would be comfortable if the goal was written in a different way it's your goal, so you get to write it in whichever way you want, but philosophically for me, it needs to be more about students learning the skills that are needed to do all sorts of different kinds of writing, from persuasive essays to, personal letters to stories. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents, but I love a writing goal, so I'm excited to see like a specific goal. So I think that's great.
Thank you, Suzanne. If I could dovetail what Suzanne is saying, writing is such an important skill. As the kids move from middle school to high school to college, and then to the real world or graduate school or whatever, writing is just so important. And I actually completely agree with Suzanne about, again, your goal, your school, but I think it's just something to maybe take into account. Again, it's just so, and I see it just with, my 25-year-olds, how important it is to write. And I think it's a skill that lasts forever. So thank you, Suzanne, for that. Any other thoughts from the table?
Yeah, I guess in a similar vein,
Yeah.
when I first saw the goal, I'm like, are we just teaching to the test? I guess that's how it struck me, and thank you for the additional context, because I no longer think that. And I think what I'm hearing is, correct me if I'm wrong, I think what I'm hearing is if the scores happen to increase, everything underneath it, all the writing skills that you're trying to reinforce, the improvement in writing skills generally, that is reflective in that score going up, not just the score itself, correct?
Correct. And the, data is just a piece of the puzzle, and it's what drives it. But, part of one of my action plans is having students score their own writing, taking the rubric and having them reflect on their writing and see, what's going right and could be improved. That goal, and I hear you, I agree with you. It's very dry, and it's not a good reflection of, what we're trying to do at the middle school, but that is what we were reported on, and it's a perk if those numbers go up. We want the numbers to go up, but that's not the whole picture. And something I really want to implement with this goal is student surveys and teacher surveys, and kind of see how students are feeling with their writing. Do you feel good about it? Is it difficult for you? And almost asking them, how do we support you in making that better? So I agree with you, and I just think data is just that goal is just a piece of a very big picture.
And I guess just to add on to that, I guess having 2 children that went through, and one's a senior now, but at this level, I think is super important as well, just to get that foundation in place, because you get to high school and it's a requirement.
Yeah.
You have to write well for all your classes. If there's no way around it. So just developing those skills early, that I'm all for that.
Right, especially with, at a college level where, the smart kids will say, well, I'm going to use AI, and yet there's built-in protections within AI tools that I guarantee professors will love that freshman English class, and, will call somebody out for, plagiarizing with the little white box that's in the middle of their report. So I think this is just so important for everybody.
Yeah, touched a little bit on my question, which was mostly the writing that you're going to have the students kind of do, is it more of like doing it in the moment in the classroom to kind of avoid potentially some of them trying to use AI to try to write some of it for them? And is it just like kind of like various different types of writing as well?
Yeah, so a lot of the writing actually, first of all, they don't use AI. You know, I've even walked into some classrooms recently where there's a pencil to a paper, and it's amazing to see. But they don't use AI, and they are working on different forms of writing, right? Whether it's narrative or informative, creative writing. I know sixth grade has been working on the creative writing and working on, you know, building up and having that big climax and then coming down, and just working with stories. So being in the classrooms, it's nice to see the alignment with all the grades. Sorry, what was your second question?
Oh, it's just the various different types of writing.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Yeah, so that's my second goal. My third goal is building student belonging. So this is similar, again, to something the elementary school was talking about. We have what's called advisory at the beginning of the day at the middle school. I think the purpose of it is wonderful. Being a teacher, I've seen it not be used as well as it could be used. So really implementing that SEL within the advisory to increase student belonging and reduce that chronic absentee rate. So, you know, thinking about things like student council, having students have leadership opportunities, the mystery readers at the elementary school. We applied for a grant to have an advisory committee facilitator because, again, we want the teachers to really be the ones forcing this, not the administrators, and really giving those resources for the teachers so it's not an extra step for the teachers or an extra thing that they have to do. Having that bank of resources from the committee, from the advisory committee facilitator who is running the committee, who is also a teacher, and the administration is there to support, but we really want it to be teacher-led and student-led. So again, we're going to have student surveys to see how things are going, what they would like to see. I think, you know, the student council will be huge. We would love to incorporate the preschool as well, which would be super cute. And just kind of having students wanting to be on advisory instead of, you know, sometimes it is 30 minutes of them to be able to kind of stroll in. We want there to be things implemented that they want to be a part of.
Just a question about, and I know we ask all the time last year, and we ask for every level. How is the absenteeism for the first couple weeks?
It's been good. I haven't had my AP for the past couple weeks, so he is the one who is pulling the reports and going through all that, but it's been good. There have been students that have been absent a lot last year who I've seen a lot, and I make it a point to say, like, we're so happy that you're here, and it's been a very positive start of the year and a lot of faces that we aren't normally seeing. Yeah.
Great. Any comments on goal 3? No. Suzanne, any comment on goal 3?
No, I think it's great. It's like, you know, yeah.
Great, thank you. Go ahead.
And then goal number 4 is strengthening family partnership. So, you know, we always want to be able to bring the families in. So, you know, we had our slush day, and I had a parent reach out to me asking about doing an assembly on a bike safety, which, as we all know, is very important. So being able to come into the school, have someone that they know, present, work together, we're going to have meetings, and figure out a way of how we want to present that to the students. I've also had another parent come in and want to work on a mural with the students at the middle school. So anytime a parent or a family member reaches out to me and, you know, asks, hey, can we do this? My immediate answer is yes. And how can we sit down and talk? And just making sure those surveys that go out, parents and families feel incorporated in the school and have a say. We are having parents hopefully help with lunch duty, which is always fun, as well as help the courtyard, have plants and flowers go into the courtyard, and work with the students to potentially, be a part of that and have families help out in the school. A lot of times you see it at the elementary school and it fizzles out as you hit the middle school, but trying to bring those parents and families into the middle school as the culture and just being a norm.
Any thoughts on goal 4?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Any thoughts at all for all of the middle school? And Sasha, I'm going to start with you.
I think all these goals are really great, especially I think all schools have had more attendance, especially I've talked to Ms. Zara about this. We've also had an improved amount of attendance. I think that's great for you to be seeing a lot of more students' faces that you haven't really been seeing before. The goal to improve math and writing is also really good. The whole plan I agree with. It's amazing.
Thank you.
John?
I know one thing you and I share, Glenn, is we're both kind of data guys,
Yeah.
data-driven guys, and I think one of the themes I'm hearing here is kind of measurable goals, accountability, if you will, and I think that's great, even if it's in, little bite-sized pieces, allows you, again, to evaluate, see what's working, what's not. I think I like what I'm hearing, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say the goals are great. I like how some of them are kind of similar with the elementary school, so kind of building on them a little bit with the students, but also trying to make sure that the belonging, the community wanting to come is there. I definitely know the part about the fizzling out once get to middle school for the parents. That's part of when I was the PTO there. So if you're listening and you have kids there, you only have to do like one thing. so help out. But I like that people in the community are kind of reaching out for like the gardening, because I know there's the space that's upstairs and also in the courtyard, and the mural and the bike safety, especially since that's one of the things that a lot of the middle schoolers do in our town, which is ride their bike from Bennett Square out to here or the elementary school. And there are definitely some where I just want to yell, wear a helmet.
Yes.
Great. Suzanne?
Yeah, all these goals are great. I love the alignment. I love that. I know we have it here at the superintendent's goals, but, I think this is in line with the way the ship has been sailing for the last few years, and it's exciting to just see the goals get more robust and sort of dig deeper into some of these things year after year. So I think it's great, and I think the middle school has a great opportunity with doing more stuff with leadership and the 7th and 8th graders. I would love to see that sense of belonging. I would love to see that in decreased numbers of students that leave in 8th grade, or whatever. I know that's a hard one because it's not always the student that wants to leave, but I think sometimes we struggle a little bit with that. So I think the whole sense of belonging and feeling like you're a real leader in your community encourages you to continue to do that. So yeah, I love these.
Great, thank you. I'm actually going to dovetail on that as well. Goals 3 and 4, building student belonging and then strengthening the family partnership. Obviously, it's important, it goes without saying, but if that just keeps, one family in district, that'll lead to multiple families staying in district. And I think the building that sense of belonging, which is always easier, pardon me, on an elementary level, but building that through 7th and 8th grade and then kicking that into the high school, where I think the reality is that really after 9th grade, I think most parents take a big step backwards. That's just how it is. And I think that building that sense of belonging with the family, with the students, and especially as we hit 7th and 8th grade is absolutely important. And I thank you for your time, and you did a great job for your first time.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Ms. Otto?
Everyone, hi everyone, Latanya Mack here, Director of Technology, had suggested that if I logged on to Zoom, I would also be able to control, but I honestly think, Miguel, maybe that's too much for me. So that's why you echoed, I'm sorry about that. Oh, I see. Lori, sorry about that. You'll see a lot of similarities in the high school plan as you have in elementary and middle school. In fact, they're extremely aligned. Part of it's deliberate in terms of belonging and partnership, but our goal for student excellence is perfectly aligned as well. So with the high school plan, you'll see, Miguel, is it easy for you to navigate, or, okay, you can go to the next slide. Is really about those three things. And for me, it's always kind of focusing on key elements. One is student progress, growth, and achievement. Second is about a sense of belonging, that same building a sense of student community. And third, developing community and family partnerships. I think changing the mindset, you can go to the next slide, changing the mindset around what it means to be in community with our students and being in the building as parents and caregivers. I think that we could create schools where you feel comfortable as parents and family members coming into the building and sharing in that excitement and community. You know, today, just by way of example, during our X block, which is similar to advisory, and we kind of have that in the middle of the day, we had, it's a little bit different, and I'll talk about this in a second, but this year we have an additional opportunity for X block, so we have 2 more X block timeframes, so 2 more advisories than we had in prior years, and that affords us an opportunity certainly for instructional support time, but also we have families asking to come in during X block and help support students and or help support some of the athletic groups. Today there was a group meeting for the class of 2028, and so we had multiple different grade levels talking about leadership, and they had some families in there too. So there are a lot of opportunities, I think, for engagement, and so I would challenge all of us to kind of think about ways that we reimagine those relationships as parents and caregivers, especially at the older levels. But our first goal in the school improvement plan, and again, are really largely based on the metric of the DESE accountability reports, which are not out yet. I love that you brought that up in terms of MCAS and the accountability report. You can go to the next slide. Because it is just one measure, and certainly having our department chairs back in the building and meeting and looking at data together, coming up with a collaborative approach to what we're doing with our data is really important. And so we will be looking at math, science, and with a particular focus on writing across the curriculum, so not just in ELA, but when you're in US history and you're writing a research project, and or you're in biology and you're trying to create narrative around cells, whatever it is that you're writing that you have additional competencies, and we're really focusing on excellence in that. So that is going to be a really strong focus of us over the next couple of years. The DESE accountability target will help us measure some of our subgroup areas, which is very helpful to us to see that, but of course we're going to be looking at student work samples, common assessments, and work that the teachers feel is a meaningful measure. And so we're just kind of just getting into this now. And so in our next department chair meeting, we'll be looking at some of the data when it's no longer embargoed. So we do have already a lot of systems set up to look at the data, to develop processes and protocols for implementing academic intervention. We have someone who's in the building who's helping with math intervention. The role now is academic intervention, so could be help during X block, but is also during several periods throughout the day. And we have this advisory block, so we're taking a look at now how we can better utilize that time for additional instructional support time to address some of the needs that we can see more clearly looking at the DESE accountability reports. So it will be kind of across the board, and you can see that in the more clearly delineated full plan, but the first goal is really about student growth and achievement. You can go to the next slide. For us, I love that we've already talked about this. This is accountability for everyone. This is excellence for everyone, and it's bringing sort of the lower group up and accountability for everyone. So we really want to take a look at emphasizing that lowest 25%. The measures with DESE will be helpful in terms of really making us push it at an ambitious goal. You can go to the next slide. Again, we kind of have a lot of this, the protocols and processes and systems in place. For us, it's about tweaking our structures that are there and making them work more effectively. We have a schedule that is equitable in terms of access and support for our students. So if you're a student who has an IEP and you have task management in your schedule, you may also be able to take electives in grade 9. It's same if you have ELL in your schedule and you need an additional English support block, you will still have opportunities to be taking electives, and that's really, in my opinion, is really important for our students as they think about their lives as students and then into the future as they plan for the future, whether that's college, career, workforce, what have you. So we do have a lot of processes in place. I think it's refining the X block. That's going to be a big one for us because we have time during the day and it should be used really strategically. So we're taking a look at that, and at the same time, enriching students who maybe don't have some of those same skill area gaps, and using our SST process, which already works really well, to target specific interventions for students who need it, whether it's academic, social, emotional, or behavioral.
Any questions regarding student achievement? Go. Suzanne, any questions about that?
No, I like, once again, I think that the alignment's great, and I think that these goals are what we want, especially with first year principals. I think these are really good, solid goals that should be worked on. I think, into the future, I think some of the goals will need to, after a needs assessment, you might find your school council or parents or students are looking for something maybe more specific, but I think these are great goals. I mean, yeah.
I agree. Okay.
The second goal is creating a sense of belonging and doing that in a very intentional way. I think one of the measures and the metrics for looking at whether we're being successful at that or not is the chronic absenteeism rate, but I don't think that's the only thing. I think certainly using surveys for students and in families in the next goal will be an important measure. Participation in clubs and activities, our students connecting with at least one adult in the building. Obviously, student achievement is looked at as part of that, but the chronic absenteeism rate and reducing that is an important measure. And I think will be helpful as we identify that. In my anecdotal opinion, and someone said to me today that the tardies are so much better. We are really ambitious outside in terms of traffic. I mean, I learned from the best. So
You are way nicer about it than I am, so thank you.
I do think, though, that has significantly improved the flow of the morning and really encouraging students, even if it's a loving, hello, you made it, we've got 3 minutes, we're working, we're getting in there, is really helpful. It's also, as an administrator, really nice to see the kids on the way in the door and what students are coming in with, because you can get an immediate sense of how someone's day has already started. So that's been a great portion for me. So I think there's a flow of activity and attendance, and we, as the middle school, has implemented the digital smart pass, so it's a digital hall pass monitoring system. We're not perfect yet. We're still a work in progress. The students, will be no surprise, it's that they're very, they have such facility with tech that it's easy for them. But I think it's just encouraging the system to gain some traction. So that is going to help us in terms of attendance, helping students be where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be doing it. It's not meant to be punitive, but it is really meant to hold us accountable for the time that we do have in school and encouraging, excellence in their classrooms and whatever it is they're doing during the school day.
Can you just talk a little bit about the digital hall pass, just for
Sure.
someone who may be watching who has no idea what you're talking about?
Okay, sure. To back up, so we, this year, both the middle school and the high school have invested in something called Smart Pass. It's a digital hall pass monitoring application platform. So it's helpful both from the macro level at 30,000 feet, and I'll talk about that in a second, but at a micro level, if a student would like to leave my math class from Miss Otto's and go to Miss Minter's ELA class, the student has to go on a computer. It's fairly easy considering there's usually a Chromebook that's open in the classroom, and or the teacher may also create a pass for a student. And we set it up, and middle school did the same. All the different rooms and spaces in the building, including in the athletic trainer, are in there. The student taps in where they're gonna go. It sets an automatic timer for them that we've already set up on the back end. And the student then goes to the restroom or the nurse's office or the counselor or you name it, or another class for X block, for example. And we've set it so there are reasonable timeframes for each location. And you have to go to the nearest bathroom. Say, for example, if you're on the 3rd floor, you're not going to the cafeteria restroom. From a macro level, it's incredibly informative. We can already see in the last 10 days, X student has already had 15 passes in what looks like 4 hours out of class time. We've got a problem. But that's not subjective data, that's objective information that we can see by the pass system itself. Again, it's not to be punitive, it is to help our systems improve attendance and having student safety top of mind. But it is incredibly helpful both from a micro and macro level. I would love Sasha to
I was
speak
just
to.
about to ask. Sasha, I want to put you on the spot here, but what's your thought?
I think the smart passes were a really good idea, although a lot of students think they are annoying and they hate doing them. I think
That's okay, though.
I think they don't realize that's important for the administrators like you guys to keep track of where we are. Especially, it's not uncommon here for a lot of things to happen, like students won't be in class on time, things like vandalism happening in the bathrooms. I think it's a good thing for us to have, especially to just keep track of where we are, etc.
Great, thank you.
I won't tell you the other ins and outs of it, don't want it to be too public, but it's got some
Right.
really cool features on the back end that help safety, that help students achieve their own personal goals too. So that's been great. We also, as part of our support for implementation of any tier 2 intervention that might happen during an X block timeframe, again, additional instructional support time for everyone in the building. We have invested in something called MyFlex Learning, which is a less or more affordable option than what we had last year, where students can sign up to go to their X block classes. So if I'm Sasha and I want additional essay support from my English teacher, she can sign up for, and certainly you can speak to this too, Sasha, of course, but can sign up for additional essay help. And or if someone would like to ask Sasha to come in because you were sick last week, I'm just making things up, and you needed to come in, that teacher will also be able to do that. This is an improved platform for us because it integrates with Aspen, so it tracks attendance, again, kind of helping with the safety and making sure students are where they're supposed to be and having accurate attendance in the building. So that for us, again, like it's just the first few weeks of school, so that's still kind of getting worked out. Once I think we work out some of those kinks in the chain, I think it's all going to go really, really well, and students are going to get what they need when they're in the building. That's the goal.
Great.
Can I just add that, for those of you wondering, we paid for this through a grant, so there was no additional cost.
Great.
So for the,
Great.
all right.
Great.
Just want to clarify that one.
There's another reason that the Swampscott Education Foundation needs to be up and running.
Right.
With just a comment about the sense of belonging. I mean, the ultimate goal is improved learning outcomes. Obviously, when students are connected, they feel good about school, they're coming to school every day, that's when they can access the academic material, and that's when they are able to do the work, they want to do the work, they're motivated, and I think it's really, really important that we have kids that want to come to school every day, and that we want to have staff that want to come to school every day. So we kicked off this year with our new student orientation. We had not just 9th grade students, but we had new students from all grade levels of the high school. encouraging leadership and clubs and activities. Like I said, like Jess, if someone comes with a good idea and there's a kernel of a good idea in there, the answer is probably going to be a yes if we can work it out in a creative way. So students have got really cool ideas for clubs and activities. And for us, it's like, if there's an opportunity that helps enhance the life of a student and ultimately, student learning outcomes, the answer for us is let's try to help you figure out a way to get there. So we're working on that. Student voice is really important, and I know Superintendent Kalishman and Sarah Ken, our Director of Teaching and Learning, are working on the student cabinet. That's something we're helping to support as well. And we are launching our school advisory committee, council, in the next couple of weeks. And I think you're right, Suzanne. I'm looking over here at the TV, but I know you're everywhere, Suzanne. So, but just kind of addressing the needs assessment, and I think that is forthcoming, and it will be an important part of kind of developing and enhancing these goals. I agree with what you said. Would love to have you if you'd like to join. And then again, MTSS support, so interventions, through all of the other processes that we have, but again, being very, I think for attendance purposes, personalized, individualized, connecting with family, making a lot of phone calls home, and helping to support students and making them feel like they want to come to school.
Great. Any thoughts about the second goal? Suzanne, anything to add?
Nope, I love everything.
Great, thank you. Anything around the table? All right, continue, please.
And then for us, the final step is about family engagement and partnership. I sincerely believe that there has to be a way where and I appreciate that as students get older, they want their families maybe less right there and looking at their folder and showing up with brownies. But I wonder if there's a way that we could incorporate a new reimagined role for families coming in that would be helpful, that students would be responsive to, because I see that as being a huge asset for us. And every family is so different and brings so much to the table, and our students are coming from their first school to public school, and I think it's really important that we include families when we can. So I personally, I'm for more families coming in and spending time with us, so that's really, for us, is improving family engagement and partnership. I would love to see at the high school it looked more like partnership than engagement, but certainly engaging more clear, consistent communication where we're visible outside, after school, at community events, we're in the community, and having family engagement events throughout the year, and definitely open to ideas for those. We launched the Instagram. I'm feeling like that's a little tiny thing for us, which I think is so helpful. I don't know, you would love to hear from you as parents and community members to see what's happening in the school, because I think sometimes as families, I don't know, as a parent, when I ask my kids how school was, we don't get a lot. So it's nice to see what's happening in school, where the learning is happening, and what it looks like, and how our kids are having fun.
I think just if I could add,
Sure.
in this environment, and we always, even though it's September, we always talk budget. The more information that gets out in the community, especially positive information, or just things that are going on. The family engagement, the partnerships, we're building a community of belonging. The more that we do, and the more that you guys do, right, it's not really just us, but it's more that you guys do, the better it actually will. That outcome, to be quite candid, is helpful as we get to town meeting. And the more that we share with the community, the less basic questions we're going to have. And the more people that participate, whether it's an educator, administrator, or student, the absolute better as we get down to that time of year. So anything, I mean, again, I read about the clubs on Instagram.
Great.
So, and I think that's just the more the merrier.
Great.
I agree, and honestly, it's the world we live in today.
Right.
So we can either fight it and.
The mic.
Sorry. I was just sharing, it's the world we live in today.
Right.
So we can either fight it and resist it and have negative consequences from it, or we can embrace it
Right.
and show off the great stuff that's happening in our schools.
Right.
I love looking at our Instagram page.
Right.
It fills me with so much joy to even see moments or one child beaming that I may have missed at
Right.
that point, whether it was our Halloween parade, DJ Blizzard, You know, I agree, and parents families love to see that. Yeah.
Right. In all seriousness, please keep that up all levels, because it really does, not only does it help you guys, it helps the students, you know, the parents love seeing their kids, but it helps this group up here come the end of the year. It really does. So thank you.
I think beyond the Instagram page, though, the Monday scoop and the Big Blue newsletter have been so positive. So many positive things coming that way too for those who aren't checking Instagram. We want to get them at every angle. Right. So if you're not looking at Instagram, you're seeing the Monday memo and you're getting all that positive information as well.
Right. And to your point, the more the more we share, the better. And the various medias that we have our fingers connected to, because especially on the younger parents, right? They're so in tuned to whatever the latest and greatest is. And I think it's just really important to do that.
Okay. Thank you.
And I like the newsletter too.
Okay.
I would say the Instagram one is definitely my favorite, since now I
Well, I
feel
think-
like,
yeah.
what did you do today? Instead of just getting, I don't know, it was good.
Right.
I now can kind of say like, oh, I saw that there were clubs today.
And the dogs at drop off.
Right.
I like the
It's like, what did you think of this thing?
Yeah.
Right. Next slide. Is there one more slide?
That's kind of, I just
Does
kind
it?
of spoke to all of
Okay.
it. No, there's no more for me,
Right.
but happy to answer
Any
any questions.
thoughts about the high school plan? Miguel?
No questions or anything like that. I definitely like it. I like the community engagement part and trying to focus on trying to get parents in here a little bit more, since I know each step along the way you kind of back off a bit. I know we're kind of trying to do that with our son as well, where you have 4 years to get you to be a functional adult.
Is that what they call it?
And the school trying to partner with parents around that, with potentially events where it's not that we need to engage fully in like, oh, look at my son or my daughter doing this one thing, but more like community based, I think would kind of shy away from you don't need to come.
Thank you. John?
Yeah, no specific question. Thank you for the presentation. And I do like the focus that you were talking about with the family engagement. And I'd be interested to hear how you kind of thread that needle. I think you acknowledge it's a challenge once you get to high school, so
Yeah, it is.
be interested to hear how you guys approach that.
Yeah.
Great. Suzanne?
No, I think that I said everything. Don't need to repeat it. Great job.
Great, thank you. For me too, great job. All of you. I mean, it's really daunting coming here. You guys did a great job. I know I'd love to hear like just a quick mid-year, middle of January, how it's going. Zero judgment at all. It's a long year. But it would be really interesting, I think, for all of us, and I'll speak to Amy about that, about having you guys, either join us virtually or coming back for a quick, hey, this is how it's going. This is what I found, right? This is the reality versus what we wrote. But at least on behalf of everybody here, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, your efforts staying this late, and I know you guys have to go to school tomorrow. So, thank you very much.
For having us.
Thank you. Great job.
All right.
You guys can go.
Thank you.
All right.
Go home.
Where are we? Time. What time? Yeah, more like. Thank you. Sasha, you are free to go.
Thank
You did a
you.
Great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sasha, you were great. Thank you.
I agree.
course.
7:30
Yeah.
is good. All right. Any subcommittee discussion report? John, you go? Anything?
Nothing from me tonight.
No, I'm still working on the communication stuff, but there is, I think, one of the comparable communities that we compare ourselves that is also working on a communications plan, so I'm kind of looking into that.
Great. Suzanne, anything from a subcommittee point of view?
Can you ask Nancy to put B policies? I just went through them today, and I think they're really quick, gonna be quick and easy. There's 7 policies we have to approve. So we can do a first read on, and for a first read next meeting. And Miguel, if you just wanna look in the drive, I wrote a memo about what the changes are, and you can see them all. And then if you want, call me and we can talk about it beforehand.
Okay,
But I think it'll be pretty straightforward.
okey-doke.
Great. All right, thank you, Suzanne. All right, we're going to move on to actions and votes. Just a reminder, because Suzanne is virtual, we'll have to do roll call votes. Just 2 things to talk about tonight. One is donation from a middle school. This is Roderick and Gretchen Young, and they have donated $1,000 to be used for the Swampscott Public School Band Program in consultation with SHS Band Director, I'm going to butcher the name.
Eddie Rovey.
Eddie Rovey, sorry, and the Big Blue Blue Bandsters. I'm going to describe here as to be used for the Swampscott High School band programs in consultation with the band director, and this is a fantastic donation, $1,000 to Roderick and Gretchen Young on behalf of the school committee. Thank you so very much. All right. We have to vote.
I'll make a motion
Thank you.
to accept the donation.
Great. Second.
I'll second.
All right. Suzanne?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Miguel?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. It is unanimous. Thank you again to Roderick and Gretchen Young.
And I challenge anyone to say the Big Blue Band boosters 5 times.
I have stayed away from that now. Lastly, we have the approval of regular session minutes from our meeting on September 11th, 2025. Can someone make a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve?
Someone second?
I'll second.
Okay, Suzanne?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Miguel?
Yes.
And I will vote yes as well. And as I see, that comes to can someone make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Someone second, please?
I will second.
Okay, Suzanne?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Miguel?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. We are adjourned. Thank you.
See you guys.